Bitcoin finally makes a move, but is it the right one? We'll show you how to avoid getting faked out of false movements in today's episode. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse steps to the forefront to attempt to quell XRP hodlers' fears over all the FUD generated over the last couple of months. Was it a convincing performance? We'll let you be the deciding judge on that. And China's new digital currency could be here a lot faster than you think. All this and more in today's exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Welcome to Breaking Bitcoin, recorded live for you here in the studio, August 28th, 2019, foul year of our Lord. I am your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you're all doing absolutely fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from, and whether you're watching us from across YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Facebook Live, or on Roku with the Investor News Channel app. If you want to support the show, make sure to subscribe, follow, share, and engage in the live chat. And hit that thumbs up button. We highly appreciate it. This episode of Breaking Bitcoin is brought to you by us. If you are an aspiring trader or an experienced trader looking to sharpen your skills, make sure to head over to premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com to see all that the Premium Trading Group can offer for you. All the information at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. We've got such a fantastic show for you guys today. I don't even know where to start. Literally, words cannot describe how excited I am for today's show. Did a lot of work in the studio. We've got a new setup for you guys, so hopefully you guys like it. I think you're really going to be entertained by what we got coming for you today, and it gives us the option to kind of do a lot of new fun stuff. I want to thank yesterday's crypto comment giveaway winner, WindyBrownEye, the one, the only WindyBrownEye. Yeah, it's a good one. I also want to thank this month's crypto comment giveaway sponsor, X42 Protocol. Make sure to check them out at x42.tech. All right, a little bit of technical difficulty there. All right, guys, here we are live in the studio. We seem to be just a little overexposed, and I thought I really had fixed that. You know, I thought I really had fixed that, unfortunately. Well, this looked really good before I started, but something about switching around must have reset the video settings. So let's take a look at that real quick. Take a look at that real quick. Let me know how you guys are doing in the chat. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. It looks a little better. I had this looking really good when we started. Now it's like I got to go through and redo all the things. Getting that green screen set up. I don't know if you guys have set up a green screen. It's a thing, man. It's definitely a thing. Yeah, we'll keep it right there for right now. We'll keep it right there for right now. Not optimum, but it's not terrible, guys. It's not terrible. Also, it just seems like it reset a lot of stuff. I don't like that. I wonder why I look so red. Gonna bring down the hue a little bit, I believe, is what I need to do. And I think it's the white balance. Still look really, really red. And now I look jaundiced. Try to auto it. Huh. I'm gonna put a color correction filter on here real quick. There we go. At least now I don't look red anymore. Exciting times, guys. All right. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Growing pains. Good stuff. All right. So we're going to start off today's episode of Breaking Bitcoin, as we always do, by giving away some cryptocurrency. And we're going to load these comments on yesterday's video. Make sure to go check out yesterday's video. Will Bitcoin make its move today? Craig Wright loses case. XRP hack. Libra bugs. And back. And we're going to randomly pick a winner. And it is WindyBrownEye again. Wow. Congratulations, Windy. Good stuff, my good friend. Get a hold of me. Get a hold of me in the Discord, and I will tip you some crypto. My good friend. Getting the chat pulled up here, guys. And getting stream labels pulled up as well. Azriel Twitch, thanks so much for the follow over there on Twitch. I'm going to put some gain on the microphone. Let me know if that's too much, guys. I don't want it to be bad, but that's about as close as I can get the microphone to me where it's currently positioned. All right, so without further ado, let's get over into Bitcoin. And there's a lot I want to talk about today. Crypto Daddy says, tip me some crypto. I'm getting wrecked. I want to thank all the new subs, man. Carl, LJ Studio, Dan, Thomas Bang, and Anthony. Thank you guys so much for joining us over there on YouTube. And of course, Azriel, thanks for joining us over there on Twitch, my good friend. Let me know if the mic is a little too loud, guys, and I'll turn it down just a little bit. Okay. So a lot of interesting things to talk about. I want to kind of zoom out when we talk about Bitcoin today and talk about some stuff that we don't normally talk about some price levels, talk about just in general some good analysis and things to watch over. And this will kind of be germane to the conversation as we get a little bit later into the episode when we start talking about an article that's been circulating. And honestly, I've seen this chart, I've seen this graph that's making its rounds on the internet right now. I've seen this chart, I mean, at least 20 times since January. I remember seeing it when it was originally posted. I remember seeing it posted just in myriad Discords and Telegram groups and on Reddit across the internet. I remember I've seen it posted on 4chan many times. But anyways, I digress. So we've got the monthly Bitcoin chart pulled open, and I just want to point out one aspect of Bitcoin's price. So we'll just go right here for right now. So kicking off the bull run, we had 5 months of consecutive higher monthly closes. Now keep in mind, we are looking at the coloring of the candles based on Heikin-Ashi trend. So we can see we didn't flip into a bullish Heikin-Ashi trend until the 1st of April. Obviously, the daily chart got us into the market the day prior, March 31st, right before the movement to the upside. So anyways, we had 5 consecutive months of higher monthly closes, and it was only until last month that we finally had a monthly close that was lower than the previous monthly close, right? So obviously giving a little bit back. And one of the most common arguments I've heard is that I guess a contrarian argument I've heard is that the bull market is over. We are going to consolidate and then dip lower fundamentally because, and again, take this with a grain of salt, but this is the argument, and I'll portray it to you guys just as I've heard it, which is when something is in a bull run, you have months close consecutively higher and higher and higher and higher. And you ride that wave as a trend following trader until that wave dissipates, which again, we've been in a short for a while now. I think there are a lot of arguments to say that that trend has dissipated, but looking at the monthly chart, it seems pretty clear here, or, it could be dissuaded from this, that we are not seeing consecutive monthly higher closes anymore, that we've already had a lower monthly close. And now we're having a month where really Bitcoin's price on a closing basis has not gone anywhere. It's pumped up it's come right back down, it's pumped up, it's come right back down, and just steadily shifting to the downside. And one thing that I'm keeping my eye on is where does the month close in relation to the prior month's close? Because I do think that is and can be a very powerful indicator, because I know a lot of individuals initiate trades off of this. So when we talk about technical analysis, the type of technical analysis that we're about to talk about right now, as opposed to the way that I trade on a daily basis, which is PTP style trading, which is objective, indicator-based trading, if this, then that logic, no questions asked. And a lot of that is different when we step into the realm of technical analysis. Often, and this is true, often technical analysis is really nothing. People will draw lots of lines, people will draw trend lines, people will draw wave predictions, people will make assumptions on accumulation or distribution or current market cycle. And in my experience, the large majority of those are absolutely pointless. And I think actually toxic, because, you know, people will look at analysis and the chart will look very nice and it will seem like a very well thought out analysis. But it's not really germane to trading. It doesn't really give you the ability to put trades on, because it's not your analysis. Generally, when you're listening to other people's analysis, it's not your analysis. So therefore you feel a lack of conviction about that analysis. And when you feel a lack of conviction about your trading, it's going to be very hard for you to execute. And the comfort, the ease, the conviction to execute is psychologically far more important often than the quality of one's analysis. Being able to execute efficiently in the pocket when it is time to make a decision in the market is worth so many dividends, is worth so much to a successful trader. The worst thing that can possibly happen to a trader is having put all the work in to developing a profitable strategy, knowing that one has an edge in the market. And how does one know that one has an edge in the market? By back testing a strategy and by testing it live and knowing that it produces results, knowing that it generates positive P&L, knowing that it gives a positive return on investment that beats a buy and hold strategy, therefore making trading lucrative in the first place. If your trading returns are not beating a buy and hold return, then the goal is to improve. However, I will say that if your trading activities are not losing you money, you are already doing better than 9 out of 10 traders, because the majority of traders just lose money, unfortunately, in this game, in this zero-sum game. The majority of traders do lose money after a year of trading. So, sometimes that does work, man. Find the TA guy with the worst track record, pay close attention, place the exact opposite trades is what they say, rake in profits from the beach on your iPhone. Yeah, sometimes that does work. Obviously, that is actually a strategy of trading, contrarian trading and counter trading. So there are actually, great trades that can be made counter trading. And I'm sure probably some people have made money counter trading me. Who knows? I know that I've made money counter trading other people as well. But yes, that is kind of an amusing aspect of it as well. But anyways, so getting back to this theory, kind of the idea that was floated around when we were talking about this was, and again, these aren't my ideas, this is just me commenting on the analysis of others, is that the bull run is over in Bitcoin because, or at least stalled. I would make the argument that it's just stalled because when something is bullish, you're going to see consistent, consecutive, higher monthly closes. And once that stops happening, you're not in a bull market anymore. You're in an area where there is very little profit to be made. Price pumps and then dumps. There are very weak trends that do not last very long before price quickly reverses, often very violently in the opposite direction. And these are key areas for market manipulation. And we do know this, the tops and bottoms of markets are highly prone to fake outs, stop runs, liquidity grabs, fake movements, fake breaks, all kinds of things that are going to get an average trader that is eager for a trade. It's going to get them absolutely wrecked. And this is why, as I said to the guys in the premium Discord, I said sometimes the best place to be is not in the market. It is to be hedged. It is to be protected. It is to be looking for better trades in greener pastures, because there's not always an opportunity in front of you to take a no-brainer trade. And the only trades that we should be taking are no-brainer trades or trades that our strategy gives us, right? And our strategy should be good enough to have filtered out fake movements. Not all of them. You cannot develop a trading strategy that is if then this then that based logic that will not have losing trades. It's just absolutely impossible. I mean, there are professional traders that rake in consistent profits year after year, month after month, that have a 40 to 45% hit rate. That's actually not uncommon in the realm of trend trading. But there's nothing wrong with that, because it is their money management and their ability to execute that allows them to make money in the long run, cutting losers early, letting winners run. I know that we say those things, and I know that a lot of people say things very similar to that. I don't want those things to become cliches. I don't want those things to become memes to you guys. I want you guys to understand what I mean when I say that, and really incorporate that into the way that you think, the way that you approach the markets, and the way that you think about taking your profits. Because it is the management of a trade where the money is made. What's going on, Heisenberg? You know, what's interesting is when I play the video back, I often cannot hear the music, which is one thing to say. It's almost like I don't even know the music is there, because I can't hear the music right now because it distracts me from talking. You ever tried listening to music and then explaining something very well on webcam? Doesn't generally comport very well. So anyways, in keeping with that, here's the monthly analysis that we've been able to predict. So looking at where price is right now, we've got a couple areas of interest, right? So this first green line coming in at $10,089, we can round that to 10,000 or 10,100 based on your preference, is going to be the previous monthly open. Okay, excuse me, it's going to be the monthly open, obviously the previous monthly close, because price opens where it previously closed on the previous bar. So, and I've been saying this, I have been saying this directly about the monthly, but I've been talking about these price levels for a while, and I think there's good objectivity here to place this out. What people are really looking for, in my opinion, and what I'm looking at as well, is where does the month close, right? I think we've got a very critical month in the month of August, really breaking into Q4. And it's my opinion that should we end up closing the monthly below 10,089, that's going to be a pretty powerful sell signal. Not just in and of its own right, but I know that a lot of other individuals look at these metrics as well. And when I wanted to kind of pin this to what we were talking about earlier as far as technical analysis. For the most part, things like this being not being a determiner of success, right? Where they can become a determiner of success is in the realm of self-fulfilling prophecies, right? So there is a difference between objective, indicator-based, logic-based, statistical-based edge of if this then that logic when it comes to your trading. There is a difference between that and predictive analysis, which is what I'm doing right now. Predictive analysis, which is saying I've identified price levels or patterns or, God forbid, fractals, and I am looking for these things to occur. And if these things occur, I will make a decision. This is called discretionary based trading. So there are really three types of traders. There are, in my opinion, I don't think there's more than three types of traders. There are mechanical traders. There are mechanical based traders, which you have a set of rules and you follow those rules, no questions asked. This is how bots trade. This is how I trade 99 out of 100 times. Then you have discretionary trades, which is what we're talking about right now. Often discretionary traders are going to be using trend lines or price levels or Fibonacci or whatever tools that they're using, but they're attempting to map out ideas of what will happen in the future. And if such a thing happens, I will react thus, right? So you have discretionary based, you have rules based discretionary trading, which is better than just raw discretionary trading. Most traders, when they come into the market, are discretionary traders, right? And that generally does not work very well for them. You absolutely have to start, and I think you can end with mechanical-based trading. The majority of trading firms around the world have started or have already been, this has been going on for a long time, but there is technological unemployment happening in the realm of professional trading. Many prop firms, prop shops, trading desks, they are getting rid of human discretionary traders, and they are employing quants, data analysts, computer scientists to build automated trading systems for them. This is absolutely the way that most professional trading is going. And that does not mean there's not opportunity there for manual trading whatsoever, or for a retail trader. Doesn't mean that. Obviously, there's always been and always will be a large gap between institutional trading and retail trading. But again, as somebody who's been able to make a lifestyle out of this, as somebody who's taught many other people to make a lifestyle out of this as well, you have to be aware of these facts of life. You have to be aware of the market that you're trading in to be able to react appropriately. If you were going to go set up shop doing a business in any other field, you would do market research first. You would be very well aware of the spreads. You would be very well aware of your competition. You would be you would do all the research necessary to know whether you were actually justified in setting up this business in this new sector, right? You would want to do your full market analysis. And I think that understanding how trading works from a retail to an institutional level is really, really critical. This is why, the podcasts that I listen to are going to be trading related podcasts. I listen to announcements. I look at press conferences. I look at releases made by trading desks and prop firms because I want to know how the industry is changing and evolving around me. And I've seen this trend over the last decade of, manual traders being pushed out of jobs and being replaced by quants and data analysts. So this is why I feel that starting from a mechanical bias, or starting from a mechanical based trading strategy and not going anywhere from that, is absolutely fine. I think that that is the trend that is being displayed by the professional trading desks, by the professional prop shops, for a good reason, because it works. Following a system to a T and being able to modify the strategy based on the market, not really doing a whole lot of discretion where you're now well out of the realm of general well-discipline, is a lot different. But you have discretionary based trading. And then you have, in my opinion, and Mark Douglas talks about this in his book, Trading the Zone. He talks about intuitive traders, right? Intuitive traders. And I think that there are maybe a handful of these actively trading in the world. And I think that they are very, very rare people. These are people who have traded their system so long, they just can basically intuit the future direction of the market. There are people who can do that, right? There are very rare people who can do that. I don't claim to be one of them. I'm not intimately familiar with anybody who is. Everybody who's claimed to be one of these, predictive gurus or have made these long-term claims. I mean, we're talking literally everybody in the crypto space, literally everybody in the stock space. I haven't met one. I do believe that they exist. And I do believe that you're never going to learn from them. I do believe that they're never going to reveal their edge to you. What's going on, Johnny? Good to see you, man. Okay, so after that brief foray into different types of traders and trading strategies and kind of the realm of professional trading, let's look at this monthly chart, and then we'll move down to the weekly and we'll get into the daily as we progress further through this live stream. So on the monthly chart, what we're looking at here is obviously Bitcoin's price on Coinbase. So based off of this data, we've got the monthly open coming in at 10,089. Now you can wait for confirmation with the monthly closing below. The problem is if the monthly doesn't close below, that level doesn't become invalid. And then the question becomes, well, what time frame would you need to see a close below that level? And I think that you should be generating your levels on each time frame. But when we talk about the monthly, I think obviously that number is very important. So a daily closing below there, a weekly closing below there, whatever your initiation requirement is going to be. Just remember that the higher time frame that you go up to, which is good, the better signal that you're going to get, but the later the signal is going to be, right? So you're always going up the scale of time frames for the strength of your signal, but the higher the time frame you go up, the more lagging that trade is going to be. And obviously when we're talking about Bitcoin, the most volatile of volatile assets, speed and reaction speed do matter. But anyways, so here is basically the levels that we've generated here for the monthly chart. We'll kind of break these down here in just a little bit. Where would be the clear stopping point here would obviously be 10,761. That is going to be the highest monthly close that we've seen this year. And I think that closing the monthly above that level would be a strong predictor of continued bullishness, because again, we can kind of see that same thing, not only here in this area right here, but again, also over, excuse me, Also over here as well. Slightly different example, but we are in a bullish uptrend. We have consolidation. And what is the signal really that we're going to have a good period? And again, this is 2 months, so that's a very nice positional trade. What is the signal that we're going to be having more bullish appreciation? It is the monthly close higher than the previous monthly closes. Again, as opposed to these monthly closes, which are pretty much equidistant, you can see that this one is a clear close above. And again, very similar over here. We have that bullish expansion. We have a pretty significant pullback lasting 2 months. We have 2 months of consolidation right here. And then we do end up closing higher. We close a monthly candle above resistance. So that is very important to watch. Anyways, so getting back to current price. So that's what we'd be watching for right there. Monthly close above 10,761. Continuation of the bullish trend. Monthly close below 10,089 would be a pretty strong indication of the bearish trend. And again, as I've said, that's where my money is. That's the trade that I have on the table. And when we talk about monthly price targets for that area, we've got a couple levels of confluence here. We've got this volume. Actually, let's go back just a little bit here. This is fine. And yes, people were asking about VPVR, so I brought it back. So we'll talk about VPVR today. So we have an area of high volume, and I believe that that area is coming in between 8,500 and 7,727. That's really how I've marked it out, giving myself a little leeway as well. And then we also have some price targets, we also have some confluence with price action in those levels as well, with a little bit above the monthly high, so an area for liquidity right here, and right below a little bit of a high volume node right there. And then, of course, the monthly resistance right here that really stopped Bitcoin's price appreciation in its tracks before we consolidated for 2 months at the point of control, and of course at the $6,000 price level before collapsing down to the ultimate bottom of Bitcoin's price. So that would be the trade on the table. The example risk to ratio setup that I have on the chart right now is a 2.11 to 1 setup. This is not absolutely 100% precise, but this is going to be looking at basically at an entry right now with a stop loss. Now keep in mind, we don't have to hit our stop loss to exit the trade, but that stop loss is at 11,200 with a take profit coming in between that 8,554 and 7,727. So right around the $8,000 area and a little bit above this local point of control. Again, zoomed in if we just take the bullish section into account. So Don Candon, man, thank you so much for the 20 crones, my man. He says, ice cream money. I've been a good boy this month. Well, thank you, man. I always try to be a good boy. That is probably going to go to the Electronic Frontier Foundation because it is getting toward that time of the year. It's getting toward that time of not of the year, but of the month, or the beginning of the month. It's getting toward the end of the month when I start to ready my donations to charity. Okay, so that's what we've got going on. I think that's pretty much as clear as you can get. So if you are a positional trader or if you're looking really to make decisions based upon your holdings, if you are going to be moving your holdings, if you're going to be a little bit more active, if you're not just a buy and hold forever type guy like I am with my investment of Bitcoin, then these are, I think these are pretty clear delineated levels. As we get down to the daily chart, you can really see the consolidation. You can really see the nastiness of Bitcoin's price action right now, really making it just not very tradable. Not very tradable for a trend following trader. All right, so let's go down to the weekly chart, and we've got that same setup as well. Here on the weekly chart, we're looking just a little bit different. Let's get this a little bit more zoomed out. And I don't recall, I'll have to kind of look here and see if we were looking at VPVR for this one or not. Don't really think we were. Yeah, I don't really think VPVR is going to be the most confluent here. Oh, I wanted to go back to that monthly real quick and show the CC-EMAs and also talk about that level of confluence as well. So as not only do we have the high volume node in the area between 8,500 and 7,727, we also have, again, the price action range from monthly resistance, but we also have the monthly 8 exponential moving average, and the 13 exponential moving average is sitting at 74.31. And if it takes us about 2 months to get down here, I would not be surprised to see that orange exponential moving average with a 13 value sitting right up in this range, right around that $7,700 to $7,800 range. So I think that's good confluence there as well, 3 points of confluence. Okay, getting back over to the weekly. The weekly was a little bit more important for the CC EMA as well. Of course, CC EMA is a script you guys can go use over on tv.krakencryptocurrency.com. Link in the description down below if you guys would like to use our free indicators. Ken D's Silver Fund can always use donations. I'm not proud. Hey, man, we'll take it where we can get it. No shame in that, brother. Anyways, here on the weekly time frame, pretty much the same thing. We're just looking. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at a little bit of a pop-up. So let's bring that CC EMA back. Now, on the weekly time frame, we're in not really the jaws of the crocodile. For me, the jaws of the crocodile are going to be between the 13 and the 21, occasionally between the 21 and the 55, right? We've talked about this before. But we are consolidating on the weekly chart between the 13, so our weekly baseline, so our weekly level of dynamic support and resistance, and our 8, which is going to be our fastest responding moving average. And interestingly enough, I think the most poignant and germane part of this conversation is once we get that weekly, again, you guys know I talked about the full-fledged bull market over here. When we did get the weekly crossover of the 13 and the 55, that's when I think that we've entered into a bull market. Right here that occurred on the 13th of May. I was bullish before. We were entering into the trades prior to the breakout in April, but this is what confirmed it on the weekly time frame. The 13 and the 55 moving average crossover is what confirmed that's what always confirms strong continuation of a bullish trend. I mean, it happens very rarely. It's happened every single time that Bitcoin's put in a strong bullish trend, which is not that many times, and causation does not mean correlation, but I've used this on other assets and other sectors that I've traded as well, and I find that it works very well for me today. Now, keeping on with that, consolidating in between the 8 weekly exponential moving average and the 13 exponential moving average, so those are CC EMA basics. We've got our 21, which is going to be our tertiary baseline, which we've talked about before as a dynamic level of support and resistance, sitting down below us between 90.38 and 87.76, really giving us our first target for the short trade for this positional setup. I think that congeals very nicely with the monthly setup that we get over here on the charts, which is taking us down to that level of 85.54. Again, getting back to the weekly chart, that level is as low as 87.76. So I would be, Martin, thanks so much for the sub over there on YouTube. So this seems pretty clear to me. The first area that one would be targeting on the weekly time frame for their first take profit or potentially support would be that $9,000 area, and giving you that nice range between 9,042 and between 9,042 and 87.76, which is this little window and range right here. We have some good confluence as well with previous resistance that was broken through. So what is that? That is a bullish breaker, and according to breaker strategy, we would buy pullbacks into a breaker, and again supported by the 21. Below that, there's really not anything coming in until we get down to our secondary baseline, and then of course this is our 100 simple moving average. This is going to be our 100 exponential moving average, and that is all pointing us between the $6,500 and $7,500 range. I think I would be pretty hesitant to make any kind of claim that we're going to see Bitcoin below 6,000. Now, here's the thing though, and the nice thing about the way that I trade and the way that we teach people how to trade is that we're already going to be in a short, and we'll exit that short upon confirmation at the end of the trend. So we don't buy support. If price ends up breaking through support, then we just continue to ride the long down, and that can be an opportunity to rescale into a position or to add to one's position. So I think there's multiple good levels here. Now, the example risk to reward ratio setup that I have here is a 1 to 1.2 setup. Not really attractive. We're going to have our stop loss in that same area on the monthly level, that $11,200 area. For me, though, we've got a pretty good early exit with the weekly closing above that 10,292, because if we go down to the lower time frames, we can point out that order block that I've said that I want to be long above, which is the $10,462 order block, descending down to the meso time frames as we will get to. So first stop on the road here for Bitcoin, I think we can reference this weekly level, obviously where we have this bullish breaker, obviously where we have our tertiary baseline coming in at, again, 9,000 to 8,700, I think is pretty clear, cut and dry. We get over to the monthly chart and we have a little bit of a wider zone to work at insofar as taking profit in between 8,100 and, in between 85.54 and 77.27. So multiple opportunities to scale your limit buy orders in to be exiting out of your shorts at those levels. That's really a price area where we do have to stop, reevaluate which way the trend is going to go. Consolidation, most likely, either continuation of the bearish trend at that point in time or reversal and a breakout, which we need to see a higher monthly or weekly open, or excuse me, close to really have confirmation of that. But we take our signals off of the daily. So now let's go down to the daily. Interestingly enough, on the daily, consolidating at the 100 simple moving average. And one thing that I do want to point out, something that we are now going to be getting on the daily, which we have not gotten before, I want to point this out, is the 13 crossing and closing under the 55. So we've got our primary baseline crossing and closing under our secondary baseline. It is occurring today on today's candle. We are crossing and closing underneath the secondary baseline. And as I've said many times, there are generally two things that immediately happen following that. We generally run back up and test the area of the cross under, right? The zone of resistance, right? Which is going to be a run back to about the $10,300 area potentially. And then swift rejection to the downside. Just as we saw a very similar thing with the crossover to the upside. Now, the weekly levels are better. The weekly levels are much more indicative of the continued trend, but you get the signal obviously first on the daily. And when you use the daily, you very rarely get those fake outs. So again, let's go back over here. Now, this was obviously a movement that we were short on. We capitalized on this. We did get, so here we go. This is a little bit different, but not too crazy. So on this day and time, the 21st of February, 2019, we got the 1355. So maybe if I just, if I get rid of some of these other lines, it'll be a little bit simpler for you guys. Okay, so here is the baseline crossover on the 21st of February, 2019. Now that is followed by a violent candle to the upside, and we shorted that. If you guys go back and watch the video from back in February, I've been live streaming every day for almost a freaking year now. Been doing these videos for what, over 2 years. But followed by a massive candle to the downside, going directly where? It's testing the level of the breakout. It's testing the level of the baseline crossover. I've talked about this so many times. We do have a nasty period of consolidation, and then, boom, price does continue on in the direction of the underlying trend. So, same thing here. We had this, you guys will recall, I was talking about that potential looming baseline cross under over here. It didn't happen, but guess what? It's happening right now. So, I don't really want to compare two unique moments in the market with what happened. I'm not saying that because of this, we're going to get a sharp candle down and then a sharp movement up and then consolidation and then a breakdown. I would argue we've largely seen that consolidation. I think price is gearing up to break out of this consolidation. But again, very bearish signal to me and definitely something that I'm looking at. And of course, that's just adding more confluence to where I'm already at in the market, which is short, already short. So anyways, I don't see that as being off the table. I don't see that run back up to about 10,367, 10,381. That is what I see potentially happening. It's not a long trade I want to take. I don't want to take the trade where's price right now? 10,240. I don't want to be looking to take the trade $100 up to the $10,000 300 area. It's not the trade on the table for me. Now, I've talked about the breakout. I've talked about this. So hopefully we can see that really well. We've got some levels of support coming down below us, 96.99, and then all the way down at the 200 exponential moving average on the daily, 83.62. And again, that 83.62 has some good confluence with those weekly levels and with those monthly levels. So you guys can, kind of, you can kind of reference that. Oh yeah, Mal. The green screen is far from perfect. You should have seen us when we first launched the video. I was oversaturated. So we're gonna have to make some adjustments. It's obviously I forgot to account for the light coming off the monitor screen, so it is far from perfect, absolutely. One Fly VW asks, can I explain repainting? And yes, I can, but not at this. Come on, keyboard. Maybe the battery died on my keyboard. That's not going to be a good thing. Oh, I got a couple notes. Yes, I will put that down in the comment section. Or not in the comment section. I'll put that down in the section when we talk about that, man. Yeah, if you want to understand repainting, just look at any of Mal's indicators. Just playing with you, man. Repainting's a real thing, though, man. Got him. All right, so we've got some pretty good stuff coming in, guys. But anyways, the trade on the table is to the downside. Now, we'll look at the one opportunity that we do see for taking the trade to the upside, and that is going to be... we got to go over to the ByBit chart for that. So let's go to the chart we actually trade, the exchange we actually trade, which is ByBit. Here we go. Here we are back here. Now, we talked about these levels ad nauseum quite a bit. We've got this bearish order block, and we went and tracked the origin of this order block all the way back over here. We talked about how it was created. We talked about this order block, and we tracked it back all the way over here, and we talked how that was created. So make sure you guys go back and just, I mean, it only takes a couple days of watching through the analysis to get where we got these levels. But anyways, this was the setup that we had generated. We were right here in price action, and we hit, excuse me, so sorry. First trade, when we first talked about this level over here, we talked about 2 take profits. We'd hit both of those take profits. Now we're back. Told people to resell the level. I said right here we could resell anything, but if we cross and close above that 10,462, we need to take the long swing. It's just what we got to do. So, and again, we take that long swing up to the $10,800 area, $11,000 area, because the next area to be tapped for liquidity is going to be this. And again, if we're going to have a really violent move to the downside, I could definitely see that liquidity hunt. I could definitely see that stop raid. So you don't want to be on the wrong side of the market for a short squeeze. There's just no reason, because even though you are right directionally that the trade is to the downside, a lot of people are going to get liquidated or stopped out if price runs up to 11,000 on a monster wick. Now, we might have already seen that. That was kind of the big question. Did we already see that yesterday? Or excuse me, 2 nights ago, actually now. With this huge wick up and grab for liquidity. But again, look where price closed right back in that order block. So you can kind of ignore, this is just a 2-to-1 suggested risk ratio right here. So it's not really indicative of anything. Obviously, you know, where am I at? I'm still short. I've been short for a while. I've been short for almost, it's coming on a week now, man. It's coming on a week now. But quite a while. So, there's nothing to do here. You know, I got some people that were excited this morning. People were like, oh, Bitcoin's price moved. No, it didn't. It chopped and it popped, and it's not doing anything. This is largely untradeable. Price moves, you know, this was a great trade for anybody that caught it, but it came out of nowhere. There were indications to take the trade, but it lasted for 4 hours. It was a 4-hour trade. So again, I'm not going to go onto the 5-minute, onto the 15-minute. I'm looking for daily swings. I'm looking for multi-hour swings. And there's a lot that you give up in sanity. There's a lot that you give up in sanity and conviction the lower the time frame that you descend to. I don't find that a lot of people actually make their money manually trading and scalping on the lower time frames. No, I find that people actually make the majority of their money, just as I do, by analyzing the market on the daily, the monthly, and the weekly, identifying their plan of attack, and then getting their signals potentially on a lower time frame, like the 2-hour or the 1-hour, maybe the 30-minute chart. Thank you, Adri. Coming live to you from Tokyo. But yeah, a little bit of lighting, and a little bit of fixing the video settings will make it look even better. Okay. So that's pretty much it, man. Now, do I have a lot of conviction about selling this level? No, not really. It's not a bad setup. It's obviously a grab for liquidity above this consolidation level, which makes it a logical area to sell. I'd be much more interested in reselling the 10,389, 10,462 if I were looking for an entry. Again, it doesn't not make sense. I don't think it's a bad setup if you sell here, and just kind of comport to this original strategy. Anyways, you can actually see we wicked up and hit the re-entry point again. So there's definitely validity to that. But, I wouldn't have a lot of conviction about it. I don't think it's the optimum setup. So sometimes if you don't have the optimum setup, like the one that we talked about trying to give people for quite a while, sometimes if you don't have the optimum setup, you do have to take sub-optimum. And sometimes you just have to be okay with that because it's not a bad setup. It's not a bad trade. It's just sub-optimum, right? But again, I want to make sure that I point that warning signal out. Again, this area right here, crossing and closing above this level means you need to get out of your short, because the only place to go after that is this liquidity pool right here and potentially higher, right? So again, we don't know how far or how high price will go. I just know what my plan of attack is and how to respond in the marketplace. Yeah, you definitely overtrade on the lower time frames for sure, man. And right along with that, man. So let's talk about that. So, this is generally an area where I would say, hey man, Bitcoin's price is choppy and not doing shit. Let's go trade alt Bitcoin pairs, man. Nah, man, stay out of that. Stay out of that. There's nothing going on over there, man. I mean, most of the altcoins look like they're just going to make new yearly lows, man. Ugh, unattractive, man. What is a quant? A quant is a quantitative analyst. So they are typically, they are specialists in analyzing numbers, mathematical edges in the market. Generally, they are also computer scientists. So they're going to be developing mathematical models. But quants can be doing anything from developing risk models, which again, risk management and money management is how you make all your money in the market. So they're going to be developing risk models. They're going to be developing ideal portfolios. And generally, nowadays, that is all done with computer modeling. So quantitative analysts, typically, if I say a quant, I mean a computer programmer, right? A computer developer, a software developer who is, either a software developer or either somebody who is utilizing software, ideal portfolios, risk parity models, statistical edges in the market, robotic trading algorithms, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, guys. So you guys want to go take a look at some Forex charts? Let's do it. We got about 10 minutes left. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes left. Let's go look at some Forex charts. Not 10 minutes left in the show, but 10 minutes before we got to go to break. So let's do that. All right, let's go look at these Forex charts. I'll see you. Before we do that, all right, just a second. It's all good. Here we go. Before we look at Forex, as a trader, selecting our exchange is going to be one of the most important decisions that we will ever make. And I'm often asked as a professional trader, what are the metrics that I evaluate when looking for what exchange should I trade on? And my answer is always the same. There are three main metrics that any exchange needs to check. They have to check these boxes before I would even consider trading on them. And I think you should as well. And this is going to be security, ease of use, and customer service. Now, when we're talking about cryptocurrency, you're going to be running the risk of not your keys, not your funds on any exchange that you deposit cryptocurrency to. So you just have to go for track record. You just have to go for how many people are utilizing it. You have to look for customer reviews, and you have to look for how ethically the company comports itself, right? So when you're dealing on the larger exchanges, you're generally going to have the same level of security as opposed to others. Now, over here in the States, obviously you can't get any better than Coinbase for depositing your funds. But again, once you step outside of that realm of exchanges not being insured or having insurance funds, if you're talking about BitMEX or ByBit or Binance or Bittrex, or Poloniex or Kraken, It's all the same, guys. It's all the same. And at the end of the day, that has to be a personal decision. And what really helps boost security, at least in my eyes, is my ability to use an exchange that offers margin or leverage so that I can proactively deposit less funds to the exchange and utilize leverage to trade my correct position size. That is the appropriate use of leverage. It is to reduce counterparty risk by not requiring you to deposit all of your capital onto an exchange, letting you keep your Bitcoin safely in cold storage. Second, ease of use. An exchange has to be easy to use. It cannot have a clunky, complicated interface with lots of proprietary nonsense on there, right? It just has to be easy, simple to execute, but also have advanced features that I can utilize if I am a more experienced trader. And finally, an exchange has to have good customer service. I am an absolute stickler on customer service. There is nothing more frustrating than bad customer service. And most cryptocurrency exchanges have zero customer service. I have railed at Kraken for utilizing and outsourcing their customer service to Zendesk. There is no excuse for it. Kraken, are you really not making that much money? Maybe you should shut down if you suck that much. Quit outsourcing your customer service to a country that does not speak my native language, right? And again, that is not meant to be biased, but everybody in their own country should be able to access customer service that at least can speak somewhat fluently in their native language, at least the major native languages around the world. So the exchange that I utilize for trading my Bitcoin futures but Bitcoin futures on is ByBit. I've highly enjoyed using their exchange, and I think you guys will too. There is a link down in the description if you would like to sign up through us. It's bybit.crackencryptocurrency.com. If you use that link, ByBit will give you up to $60 depending on your deposit to check out their platform pretty much at no risk. You can not withdraw that $60, but you can withdraw the profits. And if you happen to lose any money, they'll take their $60 back first. So take the challenge, take the Pepsi Taste Challenge, and see if ByBit is better than BitMEX. I think that it is. bybit.crackencryptocurrency.com. Let's go check out the Forex charts. This button. Hey, and we're back. All right. Getting there. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Topher, thanks so much for the sub over there on YouTube, my friend. Christian Zeladon says, I am betting and hoping that Bitcoin will drop, hence bottoms from accumulation, then get great alts, then come over here. Hell yeah. What EMA baseline do I use in Forex if not the 13? The 21 exponential moving average. My question is, which exchange in the United States with bank transfer, not wire to get Cardano? So, I mean, Kraken has ACH. Does Kraken have Cardano off the top of my head? Yeah, Kraken has Cardano. I think... I don't know if Poloniex, Bittrex, right? Bittrex has ACH, I'm pretty sure. I haven't traded on Bittrex for quite a while. Yeah, ADA, BTC. Yeah, Bittrex. I would probably recommend Bittrex, but you know, Kraken is whatever. Kraken just difficult to lose, man. WindyBrownEye says, tits, I won again. Do you just want your X42 wallet? Yes, send me the private key, man. I'll take care of you. Just kidding, man. Yes, just send me your deposit address and I got you, brother. Ricky Thompson says, I watched a video review on ByBit. You can request their headquarters address in Singapore and they allow you to visit their head office. Pretty nice. Hey, go request to do a tour of Bitfinex's office. You got to schedule a meeting in hell, though. Oh! Oh, got him. Okay, Aussie yen. You know, I'll show you guys something else here, man. Reads the show title, panically runs toward the computer. I'll show you guys something here. If you guys want to be some entrepreneurs, man. So for the premium members, you guys have access to CC Baseline. But if you guys aren't, you know, you guys can figure some of this stuff out. You know, I give you the rules. I give away so much free information here on the show, man. Check out LSMA. Check out an LSMA moving average. This is a linear regression moving average. You're going to have to do some Googling. Probably have to do a little bit of math, but check it out because we're doing, again, me and my developer are working on always developing better and better and better trading strategies. I mean, we've got this massive project that we're working on right now. It's been consuming pretty much all of my time and attention. So, you know, again, pretty much, you know, I've been eating, sleeping, and breathing back testing right now. And one thing that's come up is this LSMA. It's different. It's really, really different, but it's really, really good. You know, and it's not in my system yet because my system I've used for a long time. I fully back tested it. I feel conviction. I feel confident. And I'm not one of those guys like most traders are. Oh, I see something that seems to work really good after just taking it at a glance. Let me just think that this is the magical indicator and I'll just throw out what I've been doing for a while because I'm having a losing streak and I'll just throw this one in and now I don't know what I'm doing and now I've like Frankenstein like 6 other indicators in on my chart that I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, don't do that. You just stick to the plan. You should, every single indicator on your chart, you need to be able to explain why it's there and what specific signal you're looking for within 10 seconds. And if you can't, you should probably take it off your chart. You guys know who I'm talking about. LSMA sounds pretty kinky. Don't Google it. Google it. So, Aussie yen. No trade on the table. Water explosion is so low, not signaling any trades, consolidating underneath the daily baseline. Let me make sure. I did switch back over to the 21, right? Yeah, I did switch back over to the 21. There's just nothing going on here, guys. There's nothing going on. Let's go back to Forex. It's 1 o'clock, guys. You know what? We're going to have to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to finish up with the Forex market analysis. So we're going to take a quick break, guys. Use the time, you know, do some push-ups, get the blood pumping, man. Go outside, have a cigarette if you're like that kind of guy or gal. Get some water and let me know if you guys have any comments, thoughts, or opinions in the live chat. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, guys. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Breaking Bitcoin Market Update with your host, Justin Wise. Thank you guys so much for staying through the break. And if you're just joining us for the second hour, make sure to go back and watch the first hour. We did a fantastic, in my opinion, of course I'm biased, it was mine, did a fantastic analysis of Bitcoin, looking at all the possibilities, going all the way from the monthly to the weekly, down to the daily, and even the 2-hour time frame. And breaking news, yeah, oh, Bitcoin is moving to the downside. So as I said, not a terrible place to sell. I said I didn't have a lot of conviction in it, but of course I had a better entry. So, and of course the alt market tanking down as well. Litecoin dropping down, ADA dropping down. Of course, we were already in a Cardano short, mind you, and Litecoin short, thanks to our analyst, Alex. Great jobs there. So let's get back into the charts and let's break the Forex market down and we'll talk about breaking events in the market. This button. Here we are. This button. Yes, this button works very, very well. Yep. See, there's Brett. ADA hit take profit 1. You know what that means. Move that stop loss to break even. Okay, so here we are on the Aussie, and as I said, nothing to do. Going to the Aussie Kiwi, and just as I said, you know, a bullish looking chart. You know, this is definitely an area I talked yesterday about potentially selling the liquidity grab. You know, but again, I said that I wasn't going to do that. So it's a good thing that we didn't. Wasn't a good PTP setup. We have this rising explosion level. We have Water explosion printing a column above a rising explosion level, which is often a fantastic initiation in and of itself. So again, the Aussie Kiwi continuing on with its bullish expansion. You know, can I justify a re-entry right here? I really cannot. We're far above the qualifying line, but I will say this. We are getting a re-entry signal from Minx right now. We are getting a re-entry signal from Minx, which really is not to be ignored. And with the rising explosion level, I think that the Aussie Kiwi might be one that I go ahead and take a stab on. Looking at where we are right now in the market, I think obviously we've got a lot of room. You know, one thing that I don't like to see is this like far long away retest. But at the same time, we have tested this level of resistance. This will be the third test and break already. So if we kind of zoom down now and get, let's actually get it. There we go. We've got a bullish breaker now, right? So we had a bearish block, right? Bullish breaker broken, becomes a bearish block, rejected, long reversion to the mean, and now we've got a breaker. So I need to see the daily close above this level, and this would potentially become a breakout trade to the upside. Let's look at some potential targets. And again, I could see price going all the way up to $1.08. Which would be pretty good. I mean, that is from current price, I mean, we're talking about 1.64% on a Forex chart. That's good. It's a lot of pips. A ridiculous amount of pips. So I probably have to go half risk on this one because we're pretty high up above the mean, which means there is a juicy reversion of the mean trade. But again, you don't look a gift trend in the mouth. So that's potentially one to watch for a long this evening. The Aussie dollar is in a clear no trade zone for me, sitting at support, big wicks down into accumulation, not anything that is in my wheelhouse to trade. The Canadian Swissy, I don't see anything here, man. This is just this ranging, choppy bullshit that I do not like to trade. It's just rangy, choppy bullshit I do not like to trade. Again, be watching for that breakout trade above the baseline. And I don't really feel a lot of conviction about the reversal baseline bounce because of the many times that we've touched this area. So really just not a trade on the table. Same thing for the Canadian yen. There's just nothing here to do. Let's go to the Swissy yen. Swissy yen pulling a little bit back, or having a little bit of correction in its bearish trend. Obviously, the sell signal came in over here, a couple candles of drawdown, and then movement to the downside. So if you took that Swissy yen trade, again, this is the one I pointed out, sold it on this candle, bought it, or, covered on this candle. But, I don't really see anything in the cards right now. There's not a trade to be placing right now. The Euro Aussie. The Euro Aussie, it doesn't look terrible, but I don't like it. There's not enough momentum. What is clearly keeping us out of this market right now? Nothing to do. But again, a little bit biased to the upside. But again, I think there's going to be a good look how low momentum is. It's only going to take one breakdown trade, crashing this level of support until we can really get some momentum here to the downside. The Euro CAD is really flirting with trying to pick a trend right here. Just overall downtrend, water really low, nothing really attractive here. Now the Euro Swissy, I would say that overall, I think that the Euro is a pretty undervalued currency right now. For multiple reasons. But again, similarly, watch for that breakout on the Euro Swissy above that baseline. You can see that WADA is gearing up for a long. We've got the explosion level quite low, which means we're about to potentially tilt back up on some momentum. The Euro Kiwi, same thing. So we're talking about basically exposure against the Kiwi. So basically shorting the Kiwi. But again, the Euro Kiwi also something that I think, let's go back and look and see if we've got as attractive level. Now, this setup doesn't look as attractive to me, to be quite honest with you, as the Aussie Kiwi did. So I'd prefer to just stick to the Aussie Kiwi. The Euro Pound. Here's the thing, man. Bearish downtrend. Even though I think that the euro is undervalued, I have to take the charts as I see them, and it's just not performing well against the pound dollar right now. So again, I would just continue to be looking for re-entries. We got a beautiful entry on the reversal baseline bounce. If you'd had your limit order set right at the baseline, you'd already be up quite a few pips on the intraday trade on that. So look for re-entry opportunities to the downside. That's what I'd be looking for. The Euro Yen. Not enough momentum to continue this downtrend, in my opinion. So I would be not doing anything with the euro yen. Euro dollar, I don't really feel like trading the euro dollar right now. Again, kind of the same thing. You know, since here, pop and chop, back down at support. It's just not, it's nothing that I want to trade, man. Let's check in with Bitcoin while the excitement's going down. Yeah, we're going to have to take a break from Forex right now and just watch Bitcoin. Well, go, baby, go. Go, baby, go. Comes like a thief in the night, man. Dude. Big, big, big dump, man. I love it. Liquidity right here below this low. Let's see what happens. Bought back right at support. Now we got the panic sellers coming in. No problem, Roy. Thanks, man. Come on. Punish the non-believers. Liquidate them. Brett. It's almost like you know what you're talking about or something. All right. That's the area to watch for the snapback. Ooh, go, baby, go. Come on. Show me how powerful you are. Let's go to the daily. Let's get some logical levels here. Let's go back out. All right, so let's just take this brief opportunity. Let's go back over to the Coinbase chart, right? Okay, let's go back over to the Coinbase chart. Okay, this is the setup we talked about on the Coinbase chart. It looks like we are, I mean, we'd have to have a real big buyback. But again, you know, I am talking with a bearish bias here, but we got 3 days, 30 days past September, April, June, and November. Yeah, 31 days in August. So we've got 3 days for this monthly to close lower. As I said, strong initiation sell, signal to the downside, closing that monthly below the monthly open. And now we are trading at 97.02, 96.99. So about $300 below the monthly open. Now, first, you know, we got nothing, man. We got nothing. Let's get rid of that baseline. Let's bring back the EMAs. We've got nothing below us on the monthly time frame until that $8,000 area. Let's go over to the weekly. Talked about this as well. Kind of the first area incoming on the weekly is going to be the $9,000 area, 90.42 to 87.76 was kind of that first area that we talked about. We've got a bullish breaker coming in there on the daily. We've got a bullish breaker there. We've also got the tertiary baseline, the 21 exponential moving average coming in on the weekly time frame there as well. So those are all important levels to keep in mind that we are framing the longer setup on, going down to the daily as well. Broke that level of support, finally broke the 100 simple moving average. I touched earlier on how I did not like to see that kind of consolidation. And I'm not a pattern guy, but again, a lot of people would call that a wedge, where we're moving, listing lazily upwards with sloping higher lows and continual descending lower highs on the daily. Don't really like that. Again, there's no statistical edge to trading chart patterns. People are like, well, it breaks to the downside, it breaks to the upside. They break up, down, left, right, upways, and sideways. Doesn't really matter. Let's go to ByBit. I typed in ByBit. That doesn't make any sense. We can stay here on Coinbase. It's all good. Liquidate the non-believers. Dang, Judy. Yeah, we've got the daily 100 simple and the daily 100 exponential. We're at that. We have broken through. Now, again, you got to be careful when the daily closes. But again, I mean, you don't really argue with candles like this. The odds, listen, look how far we've already traveled, right? We're already 5% down. The odds that this thing retraces intraday would be fucking spectacular, right? Like, if I saw that happen, I would be really, really, really bullish. It's just unlikely, guys. You know, it's just unlikely. Can this be a huge liquidity grab? Absolutely, it could be. But I would make the argument that this is going to be sustained movement to the downside. Let's go down and look at... Oh, man. Yeah, it's been a while since we had this happen live on the stream, man. Look at that. Nasty move right there. Woo! All right. Do you guys hear that? That is the sound. That's the sound of my daughter's private school being paid for 2 months. All right. Now we are going to see a pretty strong buyback at some point in time. We are going to get a step in to defend. You know, you always get the white knighting going on, right? We're going to get some white knighting going on here pretty soon. Let's go to that 2 hour. Let's construct a logical plan, guys. Let's go to... We already talked about those levels on the daily. I don't really know if we need to distance ourselves. I don't really need to know if we need to get... Well, yeah, we do. We want to develop our levels on the daily. So let's... What's actually the lowest close before a shift in market structure? Yeah, we've got a couple options here. Really, it's going to be this level. This is the bullish breaker. And it's not perfect. You know, I've gone over these levels before. It's not perfect, but sometimes you just got to choose what you got, right? I guess to be even more accurate, it would be this right here. Shift in market structure, broken, and then this would be the retest. Link $1.88. Rest in peace, 4chan. Ken says the market cipher had 3 different green dot buys during this and price keeps going down. Lols. I mean, you know, here's the thing. I hate to like go back in time and be like, whoa, look, man, price got bought up here and price got bought up here and couldn't make it there, man. This is strong support. You know, I kind of feel like that's dumb trading, but you know. We only have a couple options. And it's either this option right here, right? And I'll walk you through my logic, right? So rejection. This is the highest up candle before a break in market structure. Resistance. Broken resistance on this candle. And there's not really a good retest. That's why I kind of like that level. But, you know, it's very difficult to argue with the fact of this being bought up, right? It's very difficult to argue with that being bought up right there. So, anyways, you know, but that's cool. Let's keep those on the chart for a little bit, right? Okay. I don't like to cross-contaminate our visibility here. Yeah, I mean, the weekly level is just a whole lot cleaner. Right where our 21 is. So, you know, what am I looking for sustainability? For sustainability, I want to see the weekly close below the baseline. And we're going to be going down to the tertiary. The Tulip Trust is selling. You know, I'm inclined to think that Craig Wright's mostly full of crap on that. It's the daily 100 exponential moving average. I'm more inclined to think that that I don't know. You know, like they're so. I guess, you know, here's the thing. To be legitimate, like, it's just so easy to make fun of Craig Wright. But, you know, we know that, you know, at least I feel very strongly that he's not Satoshi, that there's a lot of scam and fraudulent activity going on in there. He was obviously involved with a mining activity with David Kleiman, so he was somehow involved or around in the space, but he's super ignorant, man. He did not come up with the cons. He did not write the white paper. Everything about Satoshi's original post on the Bitcoin Talk forum is not in any way congruent with the way that Craig Wright comports himself or speaks, right? So I don't want to judge people's character. I want to judge the way they speak, the words they use, the things they claim, the things they talk about. Okay, so what are the two levels we talked about? This one and this one. So we did a big liquidity grab right here. Texas Blues, good to see you, brother. Can we do the 1 second chart? Yeah, sure. So as you can see, we just got pretty smooth sailing skies around here, and then it's just You know, I'm pretty comfortable with 10K being the fair market value for Bitcoin, you know? I try not to do a whole lot of predictive analysis. But now let's go look at Coin Farm. Yeah, big long buys. Let's go look at the leaderboard. Leaderboard's 80% long. Of course, this is updated. Is it every day, every week? It's not reflective of what's going on right now. And you know, here's the thing, man. Everybody want to be rooting for that Heavy Autumn Wolf, man. Everybody want to be rooting for that Heavy Autumn Wolf. But listen, my man Tree Surf Dragon down here. Don't leave him up, man. You got this, man. Let's not forget about Ivory Dirt Tongue. Roy says the 1 second chart looks nice. You need pro on TradingView for that, right? I don't know. I guess you might. I'm gonna say new range. Just am glad to buy Bitcoin under 10,000. Christmas does come, man. All right. Jay Constant says the whales want us to think this is a good price. Bitcoin way too high. $8,000 range. Who knew? Thumbs up, man. Marquette says, I know this is off topic, but I'm looking for a new office chair. What do we have? Price and comfort level. So I'm not going to lie. I hate this chair. This is a, what's this brand, man? I don't know. I'm not going to lie. It's like the, it was like 120 bucks on Amazon. It's like their basic bitch gaming chair. And I definitely paid for not getting the more expensive one, which I didn't want to get because I like being frugal. But I just ordered a new office chair. Scott was the one that recommended it to me. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't sat in it, but Scott seems very, very happy with it. So get a Herman Miller. Is that a chair? Bring back Sally. Hey, Sally is sitting in my living room, man. You know, I haven't been able to throw her away. All right, come on, Bitcoin. Let's get some buyback. All right, let's get off this 1 second chart for a little bit and develop a plan of action on the daily. Okay. So you got two options in front of you, my lovely Bitcoiners. Two options. Option one, you are a reversal trader. You think that price is cheap right now. You think that this is a screaming buy opportunity. And you think that Bitcoin is in a long-term bullish trend and that we are going to the fucking moon. We are going to break this trading range on the daily. We've been going sideways overall for about 2 months now. You think we're going to break that. You think 16,000 is right around the corner. And from there, all-time highs. It's simple. All you got to do is have the courage to go buy on a black candle, on a red candle, if you're using a different time scheme. Shidcat, thank you so much for joining the community over there on YouTube. All right, now, that's option one. Option one, you think that this is a screaming buy, and you are going to start dollar cost averaging into a long position at these prices. Okay? Option number two, you see this as one of the early warning signs, if not early warning sign, if you not see this as bearish initiation, the beginning of a strong bearish trend and retest of previous support. You are looking at these movements to the upside as not organic growth, as individuals pumping price to exit at a genuine price, looking to dump the price on retail traders. You are trying to be a trend following trader and looking for the trend to break to the downside. Therefore, you either went short in this consolidation zone or you would be going short at any attractive price. Anytime Bitcoin rallies a little bit, you'd be looking to sell into it, as it seems that smart money is done here, 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 here. Just pointing that out. Hey, I could be wrong. I've only been doing this for a decade. So there's that, right? And you have to choose a fundamental direction, because your fundamental direction is going to determine what you do right now, right? Your fundamental bias is going to determine, Ricardo, thanks so much for the sub on YouTube, man. Your fundamental bias is going to determine how you view this. And as a trader, as an investor, if you're going to be trading discretionarily, right? So we're talking about discretionary trading. We're talking about making a movement right now, right? If you're going to be a discretionary trader, in the realm of discretionary trading, you have to apply your rules. So you got to have a stop loss. You got to know when you're going to get out of the market, either way, for good or for ill. And go, man. Whether you're right or wrong, right? Money management is going to let you be wrong and have it not hurt you to a devastating level. And being right will confirm your bias and let you know that, hey, maybe you're onto something with your trades. Now, mechanically, we had the signal to short this last almost going on a week ago. So this is a good profit taking example for us. Yeah. Let me take a look here. So XMR hit my take profit 1 and 2. And we hit take profit 1 on Cardenio. And we hit... not quite. Not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. Holding the short. One of these days. Y'all feel this energy, this rush? Leverage is a hell of a drug, boys. 25x. Yes, it is. It is intoxicating, man. So, discretionarily, that's going to determine your fundamental bias. And I would say that go with your bias. I'm not here to tell you to buy or sell, man. That is your own decision. You're going to have to make your own trading advice. Or you're going to have to make your own trading decisions. But I'm short on this movement. I'm going to continue to hold for lower prices. I'm not going to be surprised to see price retrace. I'm going to have to reevaluate my game plan on when I now want to be out of price if price closes somewhere. You know, and really the only good level that I see is back above that, just off the top of my head, is going to be that monthly open. So 10,089, and that's a $300 retrace. But those are the levels that really mean things, right? So let's go back to that monthly. Excuse me, by the way. Let's go back to that monthly, right? So we had, and did we disable time transformation? Let's bring her back. Okay. So one, two, three, four, 5 consecutive months of higher closes, 1 month of lower closes, potentially 2 months of lower closes. I will be extremely, extremely surprised if we do not close this month below, if we do not make a lower monthly close, right? Light Yagami just woke up, gonna check my blockfolio. Ah! I have to sell my watch, man. Darn. Let's go to the weekly. All right, so I just wanted to point out those monthly levels again for those guys who are just tuning in, or for those who forgot the last hour that I've been talking about them. And we'll go to the weekly levels also. Let's change this color up. There we go. That's not the color that I wanted. There we go. All right, so probably have to go with that now. Move the stop loss down to 10,138. We don't want to see a higher weekly close. And on the daily, we got too much going on here on the daily. I'm not going to lie. We got this level and we got this. Oh, okay. So these lines are just the liquidity point tap lines. So we've made it above liquidity grab 1. There we go. As I said, new trading range. You know, intraday, you can try and go for a break of either one of these. 97.62, 96.39. You know, I'm not going to lie. I think that intraday, there's probably going to be more scalping opportunities to the upside. You know, the bears have mostly shot their load for today. Doesn't mean that I could be wrong. And there could be another massive wave. I mean, how many times have we seen that? How many times have we seen a big leg down and then we're like, oh, okay, cool. Dust has settled. And then... Sup, Foo? Wally, what's up, my dude? Chowdery said, made 75% after your analysis on this trade. Thank you, man. All I ask is that you give 1% of that to charity. Wally says, my phone had 6 Coinbase notifications, like Schrodinger's cat. If I don't open them, my Bitcoin balance is both up and down. Hashtag don't open it. Learn, earn, and don't get burned. Shout out to you, my good friend, man. Hopefully you're doing well. You know, I don't want to... Craig, stop selling, please! Dankeschön. Bitteschön. We beg of you. You know, so hey guys, this isn't really... I know we just want to sit here and stare at the charts, but look, we know where price is. So there was a lot of news that I wanted to cover today. I think we might have to skip that, even though we've got good stuff to talk about. But I did want to talk about Chowdery says, how to give to charity? I will gladly show you that. So you're going to open up a browser. We're going to go to the Water Project. Enter. Boom. We're going to click on the first link, thewaterproject.org. We're going to click on... I think you do just click on the... Yeah, we're going to click on the donate button in the top right. We're going to click on give once. And we are going to click on other. And we are going to click on... Let's give them 20 bucks, right? And we're going to go to checkout. And we're going to click on other ways to give. And we are going to click on Bitcoin. And we are going to... We're going to give... you know, 10 people, that sounds like too many to carry. We're going to go 2. Let's see here. Donate and receive receipt. And you'll enter your name, or you can click donate anonymously. In which case, you'll just click the cryptocurrency and you get their deposit address right here, right? Or you can scan the QR code. Very easy to give to the Water Project. They accept Bitcoin and all major cryptocurrency deposits. This is the charity that I currently provide for. You can see that it's been a while since I've actually done it myself. I just have the staff do it now for us monthly. But the other one that I really like and I support, this is going to be controversial, but WikiLeaks, I've given to WikiLeaks before, and the Electronic Frontier Foundation. The Electronic Frontier Foundation, they really help advocate for digital rights and privacy. So it's the EFF.org, and you can donate. They take cryptocurrency as well. You can get some cool stuff by donating to them. They take Bitcoin and shitcoin cash. And boom. I don't think you can donate to these guys anonymously, but you can just put fake information in. That is what it is. But for real, man. You guys don't want to live in a socialist country? Give to charity. I do everything in my power so that the government, when the government says, hey, man, we need to take your money so that we can give it to people in need. No, dude. You can fuck off. I'm giving to people in need. Greg B, thanks so much for the sub on YouTube, man. Dutch Crypto Overview says, if Craig sends me 1 Bitcoin, I will accept him as Satoshi. Oh, man, you don't want to do that. You got 2 options. Winston Churchill said it best, man, when he talked about Winston Churchill, when he was addressing Neville, not Neville Longbottom. What was his name? It's the Prime Minister of Britain during the run-up to World War II. Anyways, that guy ended up resigning as Prime Minister of Great Britain. He said, Winston Churchill said when he signed the peace treaty with Nazi Germany, he said, you had 2 options, man. Dishonor or war. You chose dishonor, and you will have war. Great words from Mr. Churchill. Denizen Durzum, thanks so much for joining us over there on YouTube, my man. Shit, quick cash you if that hurts. Hey, man. Not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. Yeah, Neville Chamberlain. Thank you, man. Hey, listen, guys, you are more Dutch Crypto, Frank Wolfton. You guys are absolutely entitled to your democratic views, man. I am not here to slam on you guys, man. Now, here's the thing. You are free to consider yourself socialist as much as you want. Just do not come ask me for my money. That's all I ask, man. I want everybody to be free to build the world that they want. And we can't be free if we feel that we have a right to other people's stuff. That's all I care about. I just want to be free to do my own thing. I will be happy to support so many. You know, there's a lot. Yep, great quote. Great quote, Professor Shen. Professor, I'm going to say Sean. Maybe it's Sen. Maybe it's Sin. That would be even cool. Yeah, Neville up. Neville Longbottom, Harry Potter fan spotted. I love to read, man. I've read so much. I got, not gonna lie, I'm reading Death Note right now. Joel, can I have 50 bucks? I'm pretty sure I got some jobs that I'd be happy for you to do for 50 bucks. Man, that is a nasty looking 2-hour candle, man. Because here's the thing, you know, we talk about politics a lot, man. Obviously, you know, I lean to the right. I'm libertarian. I'm an ANCAP. But there's a lot of good ideas that come out of, you know, people on the left. There's a lot that we agree on, man. There's so much that we agree on, and there's so much that I am willing to sit and stand and fight with you guys on. Totally fine. If you guys are okay with not taking any of my stuff or forcing me to do anything, that's it. That's it. We do have a Discord, Mr. Spooner. It is in the description down below, or you can just point your browser to discord.krakencryptocurrency.com, my man. Imre, thanks so much for joining us over on... Stop it, Ken. This is a family-friendly show. Death Note in the house? Yeah, the manga is really, really good, man. I enjoyed the show. Threw a remote at the TV with the Netflix adaptation, and really enjoying the manga, man. But, what was the book I just read prior to that? I actually read Jordan Peterson's Maps of Meaning. That was a read. That was a read. So after a read like that, you kind of just want to read some graphic novels. Paul, what's going on, man? You coming in here with the disco? Coming in here with no, it's not disco. It's with share. I mean, definitely a lot of people got smoked out of their positions, man. Like to hike. What's going on, man? We like to hike. We like to trade. You know, hey guys, so we're just going to get off the charts for a little bit because I think this is a good opportunity to talk about tribalism and cryptocurrency. This is a topic that I've been thinking about for a while. And so we're going to switch over to the other scene and we're just going to touch on this. We'll come back. We're going to go a little bit longer than 2. It's a good day. It's a good, exciting day. And there's stuff that I want to talk about, man. So let's flip the mic over a little bit. And I'll see you guys over there. Don't go anywhere. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me all right. So I wanted to touch on tribalism and cryptocurrency, man. And so I was having this discussion. This kind of came up in yesterday's stream, and I was talking to Scott, after the show as well, and I just wanted to touch on this, man, because I think it's really important. I don't think there's anything I can do about it, and I don't think there's a right answer to this question or to this problem. Maybe it's not even a problem. Maybe it is just what it is. But I think being aware of it and bringing things out into the open, as in all things, is just helpful to moving forward. So, let me give you an example, right? And really, I'm kind of talking about people getting really tribal about their cryptocurrency investments or their bags, right? And really, this is really germane to altcoins, right? So, and, obviously we saw this a lot and still do in the realm of Bitcoin. Back in the day, people were very tribal about their Bitcoin holdings. And when you have something that is small and fragile and developing, you often will get very passionate individuals in. Now, and that's just what you need to make something survive and grow, right? And so where we see literally any attack on what we're investing all of our time and effort into as an attack on us. And why does that occur? That is because we are associating our personal identities with a conceptual object, right? So Bitcoin is not a physical thing. The way that I'm referring to it, it is an idea. It is a collection of ideas. It is a computer protocol. It is a network. It is a payment vehicle. It is also a currency. BTC is the currency of the Bitcoin network. But it's not really, it's not you. You're not Bitcoin. I'm not Bitcoin. We're all Bitcoin. Right. But yes, there is you. You are a physical person with an identity and ego and your own individual consciousness. Right. So the issue, it can become an issue when individuals tie their personal identities, their personal egos, their personal consciousness with an intellectual idea. So again, this is going to happen with nations. So with nationalism, you are not the state. The state is not you. You are you. But people associate themselves with the state, and they tie up their personal identities with the state. So they view an attack on the state as an attack on them. Right? Individuals become dependent on the welfare state. And so they view an attack on the welfare system as an attack on them. Right? We have all these examples of why individuals become tribal. And I think the main reason is because people allow their personal identities to become associated with an intellectual concept that is not a tangible reality. Anything that is not you is not you. There is not a thing on this world that you will take with you when you die. And we all must face that day when we fade into the great unknown. And at that time, you're going to go out just the same way you came in, naked and not knowing a dang thing about what's coming next. And so when we talk about investing, I notice this as a serious problem I think that we need to address when we talk about cryptocurrency. Now, it still occurs to a degree with Bitcoin, but definitely with altcoins. And I am an altcoin minimalist, and I know people laugh at that. They think I'm joking. No, I'm serious, right? So there's a difference between a Bitcoin maximalist, an altcoin hater, and an altcoin minimalist. I see use cases for lots of altcoins. There are altcoins that I have invested in. But I'm not like 99 out of 100 of these guys running around saying, yeah, man, these things are screaming by. It's going to change the world, man. XRP is the standard. I like to have a little bit of discretion, and I like to dig deep when I'm looking for what to put my money into. And for the most part, that's generally not altcoins, right? You're just going long or short on Bitcoin by proxy for the most part. So I want to talk about the difference between let's talk about a stock that I own, Johnson & Johnson, right? So I have a big allocation of Johnson & Johnson, right? I think it's one of the best stocks out there. I think it's one of the best companies out there. It's one of the best stocks that I've ever owned. It's just continued to give and give and give and give and give as a dividend investor, right? Now, there are literally millions of people who own Johnson & Johnson stock. But here's the thing. They're not going to run around on the internet. And they're not going to get tribal if somebody calls out like Johnson. If I say like, you're stupid for investing in Johnson & Johnson. But if somebody just says something negative about Johnson & Johnson, they're not going to get like all up in their feelings for the most part about it. Again, some people are weird and you've got people of all different types, but for the most part. But if I say to you and you're a big Link holder and I'm like, you know what, I don't really like Link, then people's cackles tend to get raised, right? And that's fine. I'm not saying that they're bad or wrong people for doing that. I get it. It's absolutely natural. We just need to be aware of this so that we can have better conversations, so that we can move forward as a community. And, you know, what is the big difference between Johnson & Johnson and Link? Okay. Well, I think that the main difference in relation to this tribalism idea is how long Johnson & Johnson's been around, right? Johnson & Johnson's been around forever. Nobody gets really all up in their ideas for investing in it because they can just point to a whole track record of why this is a good investment. You know, as opposed to Link, which has been around for, you know, like a little bit, has no proven track record and doesn't generate dividends for its investors and is a buy and hold growth investment. So, and I think there's another aspect of this too where, and I'm just being honest, guys, and don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of people who are investing in altcoins on the retail level, they're new. Retail investors are generally, regardless of whether they're investing in cryptocurrency or stocks, are generally less educated investors, right? They're not professional investors. They've never managed a portfolio before. They've never really managed serious money. They don't understand risk parity. They don't measure things analytically. They typically just buy whatever's popular or whatever's hot or whatever they've heard about or whatever they think is going to make them rich, right? And I think there is this false sense of get rich quick schemes in the altcoin space. I think that's probably responsible for a lot of capital that's been directed at altcoins because people have seen the explosive growth of Bitcoin and listen, this is the narrative that was played out in 2018 when we had just this slew of ICOs. You got to find the next Bitcoin, man. You got to find the next Bitcoin. What's the next Bitcoin that's going to 10x? Crypto Twitter was full of it. YouTube was full of it. All these places were full of it, man. Projections for the end of the year, man. 2019, or I remember back in 2017, 2018 predictions, man. Ripple 10x, Dragon Chain 25x. I mean, just fucking nuts, dude. None of that was any sort of rational, well thought out, risk analytical methods of investment. That was, I want to find the next thing that's going to get me rich, like all those lucky guys got rich with Bitcoin. That is not how you invest. That is how you lose your money largely, because when you're hearing that stuff, those are snake oil salesmen coming in and trying to steal your money. They're taking money from people who are desperate, and desperation is the great destroyer. It will destroy you. So as a result, I think that a lot of people who are invested, not only in this space, but across all asset sectors are not very well diversified. Okay. And diversification is playing the numbers game. It is playing the law of statistical averages and investing like an institution, like investing like somebody who actually wants to make money and not just be proven right with their confirmation bias. So diversification is how you beat tribalism with your investments. When you tie your identity to one investment or one intellectual concept, that is a problem. You'll react too emotionally to your investment. You will react too emotionally to your financial choices instead of responding in a calm, methodical fashion, as you should, because you are not Ripple. You are not Link. Attacking Ripple or Link is not an attack on you. You are you. So there's not really a whole lot that can be done to combat tribalism in and of itself, but there is something to be said for making the situation public and aware and having the discussion openly, right? Like, for example, I think that there is strong evidence to point out that Ripple, or people who are paid for whatever reason, maybe it's not Ripple paying them, but maybe they're paid by some entity, right? Ripple has a concentrated online social media presence to denounce FUD, to denounce all negativity applied against them. I see it here on this channel anytime I say something bad about Ripple, because I'm objectively calling out something bad that the company did, or that or it's something negative in the charts. People that I've never seen before in the chat will come in out of nowhere, say some bullshit, and then disappear. I see it on Twitter. I see it all across YouTube. I see it in Telegram. I see it in Discord. And it's nonsense. It's coming from somewhere. Like that stuff just doesn't happen organically unless there really are that many people that are being tribal. So it could be absolutely just a tribal phenomenon. But I think there's some good evidence to point to it's being funded in some way, shape, or form, like the Clintons. Now, I will just say this. I'm not here to tell you what to do. And I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong. And I'm not here to tell you that you're bad. But I'm here to tell you that you should invest in what you understand, in what you believe in, and don't ask for people's opinions on what you invest in. It doesn't matter what people's opinions are. As long as you approach your investment not from a place of desperation, as long as you diversify, as long as you play the long game and are not desperate and are investing to build long-term generational wealth, you're in the right place. If you're investing to get rich quick, go get a higher paying job. Delilah, what's going on, baby? Matt Ray, thanks so much for joining over there on YouTube. I see you, Delilah. Delilah Joe Wise. You got that right. Now I'm famous. So, that's a pretty deep topic, Spooner, but I would say that, obviously you're kind of throwing the argument in the weeds there by using the word naive. So I do consider myself an empiricist. And I think that the reason or the justification that empiricists would use for their worldview is that, an empirical worldview is something that can be demonstrably evident, right? So I can arrive at using logic, using empiricism, I can say that, hey, because I'm using this method of thought, because I'm using this method of analysis, I can make a prediction about the future, and then that prediction becomes true. And then I can repeat that over time and produce reproducible evidence. This is the basis of the scientific method, right? Whereas I think that a lot of what you pointed out, which is Hume, Kant, Nietzsche, they all have fantastic contributions that they made to the world of philosophy, but I have a problem with their metaphysics. I have a problem with their metaphysics. Your dad watches sticks on computer screens for a living. I call that chart pattern the vomiting brontosaurus. Oh, man. Midnight Synergy. Do I ever run a special on the 1-year premium trading group or any time frame? We do. We do. Not all the time, but we do run specials. Yes. I know for a fact that we've got something coming up for Black Friday, which is going to be November. I know that Scott was talking about something maybe in September, but I have no information on that. I don't know anything. Michael says, which altcoin is my favorite? Hands down, best use case that actually has a future. Just my opinion. Whoa. All right. Look out. I'm going to move the markets. Let me get my notebook. Okay. If I were going to buy some altcoins right now, if I were going to put, let's say, that's aggressive, 5% seems realistic. That's still a little high. 10% if you're being really aggressive. Of your entire portfolio, I would do something like I would do either, now you can adjust these numbers a little bit, but I would do at least 50%, no lower than 40% Bitcoin. I mean, really, you want to jack that all the way up, in my opinion, to like 90%, but no less than 40, 50% Bitcoin. I would have some Ethereum in there because it does have a use case. Ethereum has problems, but it's had problems before and overcome, right? Komodo. I think Komodo is at the leading edge of a lot of development. Neo. EOS. Cardano. BNB. That's about it, man. Now, there are other cryptocurrencies that I've investigated that I think are interesting. There are other cryptocurrencies that I think do have use cases, but I think that that is your pretty safe basket of major coins. Right now, we've seen top 10, top 20 coins fall all the way down to the 400s. You know, what's one that I think, Feathercoin, if anybody remembers Feathercoin. But, you know, I think that those are pretty popular, well-capitalized projects with a pretty strong team. Not saying that that's not investment advice. That's not financial advice. Please, for the love of God, do your own research. And if you run out and buy something because some dude on YouTube said, you've got bigger problems. The vomiting crocodile. Just 1 second, guys. Adam says, hey, Justin, feels nice to be ahead on this trade, and you helped give me confidence to make my own decision. Do I think we'll have good places to add onto our short positions from here on out? Of course, man. Of course. Let's talk about those levels. Again, monthly close below, you know, on the monthly close below the previous monthly close. So pretty much we're just looking for any close below 10,089. That's going to be a time dilated area to add, right? Especially if we are targeting that mid to low $8,000 area on the monthly time frame. When we get over to the weekly, again, I think that the good take profit area is going to be the $9,000 to the high $8,700 area. Most likely we stall it there for a little bit. We've got that bullish breaker right here coming in on the weekly. We've tested that level a few times, looking for a more significant retest. A breakdown below that level, weekly close below that level, I think will be a good re-entry opportunity for the trade down to the low 8,000s, potentially even the high 7,000s at that point in time. And on the daily time frame, we're going to get a little bit more discretionary. We're going to delete these lines for right now because it's not really germane to the conversation, I don't think. Now, I do think that we have, so we've talked about these order blocks a little bit, and this one's tricky, I'm not going to lie. But we do have this one, and I can see that it just played out. And Dark Rico, I think you accurately pointed this out, man. So we do have this order block. This is the lowest down candle before a shift in market structure, right? This candle right here. So we just measured the open to close. And where did price wick down into? Right there. Wicked better over here, wicked right down there. So yes. Could it be a liquidity grab? Yes, it could. I don't trade. You know, I don't. So again, let me like back that up. So I can see the setup. I absolutely see the setup. And you know, the risk to reward is low because if price closes below that level, then you're out of the trade. It's not really where my mind's going with this right now. We had Black Saturday in Europe, but unfortunately they now force this Black Friday on us as well. Breaking news just in, back to launch its custody service on September 6th. Yeah, coincidentally on... Yeah, I was going to talk about that, man. What, say what? Scott? Ethereum's going to hard fork? Okay, I'll talk about it. All right, guys. All right, let's go talk about this. This just in... I know, I'm going to have to figure this out. I know. This just in, Ethereum's going to hard fork... What, Scott? Oh, they delayed it? Already? Okay. Sorry. Ethereum has delayed the announced hard fork due to not being able to understand what the hell is going on over there in Developer Central. More on this later. Good story. Good story. Go back to that 1 second chart. Problem here. Let's go back to that daily. What the hell is going on here? Zoop. Okay, yeah, that's the problem here. Double click. I only want this to be viewable on the hourly, not the 1 second chart. So we can go back to the 1 second chart and we can see our lines. Yeah, new trading range. Come on, Bitcoin, do something. Dutch Crypto says, I dumped all my alts at the start of summer except some EFL, which, well, check the charts and volume. Neo Gaming says, you don't ever hear that much love for KMD. Love the staking. I'm getting 0.1 daily. Yeah, I mean, that's mainly the main reason why I got in there. Not only do I think they're doing a lot of good development technologically, pretty active GitHub, and good guys on the team. You always got to reach out, try to reach out to developers and try to talk to the people who are associated with the community. But also, I like that staking exposure. I like passive income. Delilah, do you want the graphs to go up? At this point in time, I kind of want them to go down, hun. And yes, Delilah, the computer's fine when the VPN came off, yes. Common Man Crypto says, awesome, I knew someone would be doing a live stream with the way the market is moving. Good to see you, man. James asks, where do I actually think the lowest will go below 8,500? To be honest with you, man, I don't know. I don't know where price will go. I have a feeling that a logical retest would be here on the monthly chart between 77.27 and 85.54. This is the chart I have the most, that I feel the most comfortable with. Going over to the weekly, this is the one I think has a good confluence with that as well, which would be pointing us down between 90.42 and 87.76. So that's the most bullish scenario. That's a pretty simple retest of previous resistance and a weekly bullish breaker setup, which is good. It's also a historical price level. So there's lots of good confluence there as well. But I mean, next stop 9,000, guys. Next stop 9,000. Below that, 8,700. Below that, we start looking at that $8,000, $7,700 level. And again, we've also got confluence with our EMAs as well. Right? So this whole level is being supported right now by our 8. Our 13 monthly will be up there very shortly, probably by the time we get back down there. If we go over to the weekly time frame, here's the bad thing, man. We've got our tertiary baseline, which is supporting that area of 9,000 right now. That's giving good confluence to that $9,000 area. But below that, we've got our tertiary baseline coming in at 74.25, which is even below that monthly level. So, spooky business, man. Spooky business. But let's give a big shout out to the daily 200 exponential moving average for catching closing basis so far just right. All right. Go, baby. Ich liebe dich too, Delilah. Sachin Umarani, please tell us how to use the Wadatar indicator, please. I've got a Trading Crypto 101 video on that, man. Yep, you just go to yt.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Gonna bring you right here. Oh, hey, check it out. This dude's live right now. I look really weird live. Oof, that's scary. I definitely got to fix this camera up, man. But anyways, you go to the Trading Crypto 101 playlist. And you go to the Trading Crypto 101 video on Wadatar Explosion. Yeah, the camera definitely looks better there. And look at that beard, man. That dude's got a handsome beard. That's right. Make sure to start off right by subscribing. When alt season? Never. Crypto Kirby is ranting about the crypto abyss and something about snakes and tuna fish kits. Ah! Yeah, man. Yeah. Cracking Cryptoception. Needs more beard oil. Okay, hey, let's you know what, guys? It is 2:21, man. I do want to cover this news, if that's okay with you guys. You know, I would like to cover the news if that's all right. So having said that, I know like Bitcoin and it's doing stuff, but like it did the thing. Let's just take some profit. Oh my God, it moved down. $20. Hold on. No, we're staying on the Bitcoin chart. I'm just kidding, guys. All right, so let's go cover the news. We'll come back to Bitcoin in just a little bit. It's okay. It's not going anywhere. Except down. All right, now. Need a water cooler in the background and a James. James at the water cooler. Hey guys, listen. I'm just gonna go grab some water real quick. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, okay? Hopefully you guys aren't mad at me. Little did you know the watering hole is about a quarter mile away, and I ran, so. Okay, so no, I decided to make a cup of coffee if that's okay with you guys. I looked for some popcorn so I could come back and watch the price of Bitcoin while eating popcorn. But didn't happen. Let's go back over to the charts. All right. So, where were we? Snap back to 96.89 from a low in the $9,500 region. Low of 95.22. Come on, baby. Let's do this. Okay. Now, we're going to review some news, and then we're probably going to have to start wrapping it up, guys. You guys have been absolutely awesome and fantastic. It's a fantastic show today. But I I do have stuff I got to do. I got a premium webinar for the premium Discord members that I got to get done. My developer is messaging me like, hey man, get off the stream. Let's learn how to make some money better. All right, so having said that, you know what? Let's do this. All right, so here we are in the news studio. And we're just going to slide this over here. You know, I feel like I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to remake this scene for the wide angle shot and put the news there. Like put a clip of the news up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to redo it. This is not going to be a green screen scene, I don't think. This will be a different scene. So we talked earlier about tribalism in cryptocurrency. I want to talk about China. So, cool. So according to sources, as published in Forbes yesterday, China is preparing to launch its central bank issued digital currency this year, known as the DCEP, stands for Digital Currency Electronic Payments. Distribution is set to begin by issuance to 7 trusted institutions in the country. Now, these 7 will be the first to receive and begin circulation of the new state-backed digital currency. Among these banks, these commercial banks who are going to be distributing the funds are the Bank of China, the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, the Agricultural Bank of China, and China Construction Bank. Why, thank you, sir. Look what we just got live on the stream. Yeah, man, this is good. Bam. MMO coin for gamers and traders. MMOpro.org, guys. Thank you very much. MMO coin, MMOpro.org, guys. Not a paid sponsorship. I just like the guys. And the t-shirt, man. This fabric is nice. All right, cool. Only problem. Hey, that looks pretty cool on the green screen, huh? Looks pretty neat on the green screen. Yeah. Ha Neat. Thank you so much, brother. Okay, as I was saying. Also, China's tech titans Alibaba and Tencent and financial services firm UnionPay will also be receiving the cryptocurrency to distribute through their business operations. Alibaba, Tencent, and 5 others. But where are the other 34 thieves? Strange timing. As I was going to say. So, now the speculation is the launch will be scheduled for November 11th. Now, this is the biggest shopping day of the year in China. This puts China as the world's first central bank to launch a global digital currency. Now, this information does line up with the official announcement from China's central bank, the People's Bank of China, of having a 2-tiered system of their digital currency distribution, with the central bank issuing it to commercial banks and commercial banks being responsible for distributing it amongst users. Now, it's important to note that China's digital currency is just that. It is a digital centralized currency. It is not running on true blockchain architecture. It does not have to wait for transactions to settle in a block. Because of this, the technical specs of the DCEP put it at being able to handle 300,000 transactions per second, dwarfing Libra's proposed 1,000 per second. So, this currency, this digital currency, is a permissioned architecture that is not open source, that one can only use with permission, and that is centrally managed by the central bank, meaning the digital currency remains a liability of the central bank. Now, according to the People's Bank of China, this is designed to replace physical notes and coins in circulation, not the yuan sitting in bank accounts in a digital form. It is critical to note that these measures of eliminating physical cash increases the ability of China to surveil its own citizens. Now, they claim that these measures are intended to give banks increased confidence in the creditworthiness of borrowers, let merchants receive payments instantly with lower transaction fees, track money laundering and government bribery. Those are the claims, and those are actually true. Those are actually true. A digital currency would make those things better and possible. However, we have to point out the cost. The greatest bloodshed in the world has always been perpetrated by governments, centralized authorities who send men and women to die on the front lines. The greatest crimes against human liberty and freedom are always perpetrated by governments. So the untalked about cost of all this wonderful efficiency is an increased surveillance state in a country where throttling of dissent and human rights violations are already a problem. Now, with Libra still in development and facing regulatory uncertainty, with Libra still in development and facing regulatory uncertainty, and the Bank of England Governor Mark Carney floating the idea of a new digital reserve currency only this week, China's rapid development and launch of the DCEP should serve as a wake-up call to the system. Chris S. It's a good eye, man. All right, now, in my favorite topic to talk about, let's talk about Ripple. We've got Mr. Garlinghouse, that is. So Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse took to Twitter to address the community concerning issues and criticisms being leveled at XRP over the past several months. Now, addressing a new complaint filed with the SEC, XRP tokens are said to be unregistered securities and whose value is seemingly manipulated by Ripple marketing and supply policy. Although limited in his response due to being a defendant in the case, Garlinghouse insisted that XRP is not a security and noted a recent statement by the United Kingdom's Financial Conduct Authority, so the UK's SEC, that in contrast to a security token, XRP could be better classified as a hybrid between an exchange and a utility token. Now, in reality, the statement that he's referring to from the SCA amounts to a hill of beans. Let's go down and find that quote right here. So the quote from the FCA is a one-liner, and it says, quote, tokens may have mixed features that may overlap with the above categories or change over time. For example, Ether can be used as a means of payment, i.e. exchange token, on the Ethereum platform, and can also be used to run applications, utility token. XRP has similar features. That's it. They're going to be basing the legality of their token off that one-liner from the FCA? Get out of here, dude. This holds no water. Addressing the steadily increasing sales of the XRP token from Ripple in the past months, and according to reports from Asari, their research indicates that XRP has increased their sales of ZERP nearly 50% in the last quarter. So Ripple has dumped 50% more of their token on the market, on hodlers, hoping for scarcity. Digital scarcity, guys. That was the idea with Bitcoin. But no, just sell more on the market, just dump it. So Garlinghouse stated that all this selling, it's intended to improve the utility of the token. And this supports the development and adoption of RippleNet, right? Because more Ripple out there makes it easier for individuals, these banks, these nameless financial institutions that are signing up in droves for RippleNet, launch on to the RippleNet platform. In fact, according to their latest reports from Ripple, RippleNet has over 200 customers worldwide using the network for live payments. Now, interestingly enough, Garlinghouse neglected to address concerns about former and current team members selling off large positions of their personal XRP. For example, Jed McCaleb, who is no longer on the team, is reportedly selling 500,000 XRP on a daily basis, according to research by CoinMetrics, while David Schwartz, Ripple's CTO, has sold 2.8 million with an M XRP since the beginning of 2019. And founding team members selling off tokens. That's never a good sign here in crypto land, guys. Instead, he focused, pivoted on their organization's efforts toward transparency, highlighting their quarterly reports and their proactive approach toward trust as setting the industry standard. Yes, definitely setting the industry standard. I think we've got a live picture of the industry standard right here. There it is. Yes, live picture of the industry standard. Yes, there it is right there. Live. Coming live. That's about all I got, guys. Dutch Crypto Overview says, not the largest amount of viewers, but 0 dislikes so far. Let me take 100x leverage on the dislikes. Going long, man. Well, I just talked about XRP, so watch. I swear to God. Just watch the dislikes. Just watch it. Oh, the shocking news. Gasp. Just need a Bad Brains and a Misfits poster and the collection will be complete. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I got something to say. Dun dun. Jared and Michael, guys, thanks so much for joining the community over there on YouTube, man. We've got 20 minutes. Do we get some dislikes? No? All right. Okay. Just saying, man. You know, listen, I've said this before, right? I've said this before. I'm not a market as much as people want to claim that I am. I'm not. It's not like some insane intuitive ability to know where price is going to go. I follow a simple if this then that logic-based statistical edge strategy. There is, you know, I've been doing this for a long time, so there are some elements of price action that do end up creeping into my analysis and give me some framework to operate in, right? And sometimes those end up allowing me to have a little bit of a better edge. Now, that's a little personal and that comes in time. But the majority of my success is the patient, methodical application of consistent trades put on with risk management and position sizing and long-term thinking at the forefront of my mind. So yes, we were already positioned in the short trade. Everybody in the Discord's been getting that signal for the last, like, I don't know, going on a week now. But as I've said before, like, for example, when I was, you know, when I've showed on stream, like long trades that I've been in, right? And then price just blows up. Same for shorts. If you just trade in the right direction good things happen. The big candles come like thieves in the night, man. You're never going to be able to tell when they're going to come. But when, in my opinion, in my experience, if you just if you just get in a consistent habit of trading the direction of the trend, then the big candles come. They don't come all the time. Five dislikes was the top. Matt Ray, I stream on Twitch, D Live. We're on Facebook Live right now. We stream on YouTube, and we're also, if you want to watch us on Roku, so if you ever go to your grandma's house and you're like, hey, check out this dude on YouTube, you can go download the Investor News Channel app. And not, I'm just kidding, man. Like, the Investor News Channel app is fantastic. You guys should definitely check them out. The Investor News Channel app on Roku, you guys can download. It's amazing. I usually have it on over here on the side. Sometimes I have it on mute, but I always have it on. And they're just playing like the latest for trading. They cover emerging markets. They cover cryptocurrency. They cover investment. They're really trying to create a live streaming service for younger investors, people who are interested in emerging markets and new ways to invest capital. Matt says, my dentist is part of the Ripple Army. True story. Should I be worried? Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, you kind of should, man, because if you've seen like Little Shop of Horrors, I love the movie Little Shop of Horrors. I like the original one, but I like the newer one with the guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's a fantastic, Technicolor redo. Like, just one of my favorite like little musicals to watch, right? And I've seen Little Shop of Horrors live. I really like, this is gonna sound like, but I like plays. I really like musicals. They're really fun to go to. In fact, I'm going to be taking my daughter. They're going to be having Jack the Ripper at the local playhouse. It's a satiric comedy. We went and saw Sweeney Todd last year. Really liked that. So they do good. They do really good work down here at the local playhouse. But anyways, if you remember the dentist scene from Little Shop of Horrors, where the dude just like snaps, right? He's like, dentists, man. That's why I always floss, and I have the Philips Sonicare toothbrush. I'm gonna go in there, man. Yeah, I mean, you should be scared if your dentist is part of the XRP army, because it's like, so first off, if he just gets the feeling that you don't like XRP, he might take out an extra tooth while he's down there. And if XRP just happens to have a bad day, he just might be in that, this is the day, man. This is the day. I'm going out and you're coming with me. You just picked the wrong dentist office to walk into. Manipulation. Thank you, Karam. Put the candle back. He was good. Gave me the good stuff after the... Yeah, Steve Martin did a fantastic job in that movie, man. The $8,500 CME gap might expire for the first time, and no bill. Hey, what's going on, Victorian? When is the last time XRP had a good day? It's been. I mean, listen, it has its days. Things move, right? I mean, fuck, it's having a pretty decent move right now. Big wick down into support right here. Skyrocketing upwards. Let's go look at Cardano. So we're good. Hit my TP1. That's the first thing I'll do right after I get off the stream. Slide that over. Thank you, Ricky. All right, guys. But you know what? I'd love to sit here all day long, man. If I could. But I cannot. So we're just continuing to collect stuff in our list of stuff we're going to talk about when we have time. I'm back. So we've got explain a trailing stop, look at silver, explain repainting. All that will come and more, guys. I've also got show how to set up ByBit with VPN. Share my experience with 3 commas. Great. I'm going to write that down too, so I can kind of riff on that a little bit more, man. But yeah, I have the pro plan for 3 commas. I got it really good to kind of check out the BitMEX spots. Wasn't really thrilled, but the options are there. It's just nice to have that available. I could have my developer programming one, but I'm kind of like, I'm a manual trader and my developers, you know, like come up with some really cool, neat stuff. And I'm constantly like trying to, you know, how do I put that? You know, I'm always testing new strategies. I'm always trying to come up with new concepts and ideas. So, you know, in the realm of like automated trading, we're working on a whole lot of stuff right now. And so I'm always gathering as much information as I can from all over the place to see what I can find, what works the best, right? So anyways, guys, on that note, whoa, he just did a thing. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another, probably one of the best ever episodes of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. I am your host, Justin Wise. I'm the lead analyst and senior mentor at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Thank you guys so much for all the support, for all the love. If you guys would like to join the premium Discord, if you guys would like to join the premium trading group, get access to our educational content, including the Pathways to Profit course, all our exclusive indicators, trade signals and setups, as well as mentoring from our team of analysts and traders, make sure to go check out premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Top link in the description down below. Make sure to go check out the testimonials in the general Discord as well. Join us over there at discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Whatever you decide to do, because that is where to be to stay up to date on the markets and what we are doing as well. And I've met some of the best people in there, some of the smartest people in that Discord, believe it or not. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button on your way out, guys, unless you already hit them on the way in which case that would reverse your thumbs up. So only one is needed. If you guys love amazing crypto podcasts, make sure to check out this podcast at breakingbitcoin.money. We're currently available on Podbean, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Google Podcasts, iTunes, probably a whole bunch more that I'm forgetting, but you can find all that information as well as today's show notes. It's going to cover everything we talked about at breakingbitcoin.money. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. And you also, in addition to getting a response from me within 48 hours, will also be entered to win in tomorrow's crypto comment giveaway, because we give away crypto every single day on this channel. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I'm Justin Wise. I'll see you tomorrow. And as always, guys, trade safely.